I think that's quite nice in the sun. I'm wearing makeup. I have my topper on. I'm back to work tomorrow for the next 3 days. I've arranged to go away over my birthday, the weekend of my birthday. It's quite difficult really because my birthday is the same birthday as Michael's. I'm feeling better. I am feeling better. I'm not crying all the time. I've just come to accept that this has happened. Nothing is going to undo it. I find it difficult, my lack of understanding and comprehension over the nature of life and the nature of death as well. From what I understand, from what people have said, people don't really know what is going on. I certainly don't. We're plunged into life, and we're plunged into life. We grow older. We come to realize that there are signs everywhere that life is nothing what we thought it was when we were young. And then we have to go through the process of perishing. You can't blame a person for wondering what it's all for. All of this. Everybody has got their own ideas and sometimes their own opinions. Everybody seems to think that they're right regarding what they believe and that their way is the way. And can everybody be right? Can everybody be wrong? It all seems a bit stupid and a bit of a waste of time too. In that time, we could be trying to figure things out for ourselves. I suppose there is a label that goes on that. It's, I'll have to put it on the screen because I can't remember what it is. But basically what it means is that you discover truths for yourself. Once you prove things to yourself and you have direct experience of things, then you believe in what you experience. But I don't know about this whole business of having faith. You can spend your entire life having faith. My head just goes round and round and round, and I've done it all. I've done the church going, I've done the baptism, the Bible study, I've done the New Age movement. I've done it all. But when you come face to face with the end of a life, you can't help but wonder, where does that person go? What does it all mean? What is its purpose? I do believe that as a race, as a species, we have collective amnesia here somewhere. I get the distinct impression that people in the distant ancient past didn't ask themselves these questions, not because they didn't have time, but because they didn't need to ask. They already knew the answers in a way that we don't know the answers anymore. And there was no religion connected to the answers. It was just part of their life, their reality, their nature. It was, does it have to have a label? Does everything have to have a label? We spend most of our time fighting over which label is the correct one. Sometimes when I'm going through a difficult time, I find baking really helps me. It's slow. It has a rhythm to it. You're following pretty simple instructions. And then you have the extra senses that you enjoy, for example, the colour of the batter you're making, the smells of the vanilla and the sugar. It's extremely soothing and reassuring, and I really enjoy it, and I hold on to that. I hold on to things like that. Hugging the rocks the other day. Hugging those cold, perfectly still rocks. I found that so comforting, reassuring. Making those chocolate chip cookies. They're beautiful. You should see them. They're sitting in the tin. They're lovely size. They're chewy. I tried many different kinds of recipes. I don't know whether you ladies do that. Ladies, if you don't bake, maybe you'd like to start. There's a lot of pleasure to be found there. Those are things that I really enjoy. I love to be able to pull the rabbit out of the hat and produce that plate of lovely homemade delights. There's nothing nicer than homemade delights. It's no wonder that I'm susceptible to weight gain. I do love the delights of good food. Good food, properly prepared with fresh ingredients, given to other people, is a wonderful thing. Yes, I am a feeder. Ask Steve. Steve is one of those strange people who eats to appetite. He will often say at the end of a meal, when I offer him more, he says, no, I won't have any more. I'd be being greedy. And I think to myself, but isn't that eating? I know that I've got it so badly wrong. So badly wrong. But eating is a pleasure to be indulged in, whether you're hungry or not. Yeah. I want to thank everybody for their messages. I read all the messages. There was a message that said that the woman who wrote this comment had said that she had lost her sister when her sister was 35 years old, and that her sister had subsequently, after her passing, reached out to her, I guess to communicate to her that she was all right. I have had those experiences before with other people's passing. And always found it interesting that those who have moved on, hear me out, ladies, I don't have all the answers, all right? I am just scrabbling around in the gutter, trying to look up at the stars. Those who have passed on seem to use many and diverse methods and vehicles in order to communicate what it is that they want to say. And they're very diverse. So, for example, you could find a piece of paper with a special word on it that really resonates with you, or is an answer to a question you've been holding in your mind regarding that one who has passed. You're experiencing together. You may overhear something, or you may open a book and read a chapter of something, or even the Bible. In fact, it puts me in mind, this is slightly different, but kind of on the same theme of communication, of the intangible communicating with you in your physical body. I had gone to stay at my mother's house after she had passed. And it was truly that dark night of the soul that you hear about. It was the middle of the night. She wasn't there. I didn't know where she'd gone after her passing. But there was a finality, a blackness, an end that was so extreme that it threw me into a panic. It was kind of like feeling claustrophobic, that I couldn't catch my breath with the finality of it all and the missing her so much. And I opened the Bible. I randomly opened the Bible. And I can't tell you which book, which chapter, but I can tell you the message that was there. And the message was, to those who are grieving, I will give comfort. You guys, if you know the Bible, you will know that the grief-stricken will be comforted. And it was like a wave of comfort that had washed over me, because it meant that I was not alone in my darkest hour. And sometimes when you get that message of reassurance, it's a great comfort. And it seems to happen a lot. It's not just my imagination, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think we just have to appreciate that messages, communication comes in so many different forms other than human speech. We know that. We already know that if you think about it. And actually, death and resurrection happens so many times to you in your life. It's not death of the physical body, but it's death of a version of you sometimes. I mean, look at me sitting here with this beautiful topper. You know, the hairless, sad woman who used to be doesn't have to be anymore. It's a new version of myself. And with every large event, even if it is just finding hair, it's a new version of your life that you're living into. At the risk of sounding extremely morose, actually, and the wanderings and the wanderings of my thoughts, the purpose of this video is not morose. The purpose of this video is to thank you and to tell you that all of your comments really helped me. And I was so grateful to see them and to read them. So very grateful. And they helped me. Also, my daughter happened to watch the video. She probably watched it on her big TV at home. She very rarely watches my videos, you know, but believe it or not, she sat with her partner and they both watched it together. And she also said that she read the messages and she found them a great comfort, and they are. When you feel that there are people, even if they are far away, people who are listening to you, watching the video, who are being emotionally impacted by what you're saying and feeding back their own experience to you through the comments, be it a message of reassurance, of love, a compassion for your plight, and even those who say, I'm going through the same thing, or I went through the same thing, or a similar loss. Any loss is a loss. It makes you feel like you're part of a collective, that you're not alone. And I'm so happy that I can sit here and ramble on. I do hope and look forward to moving on from this. There's a review of a Uniwigs topper that is beautiful and that I was happy to make, and I hope you'll enjoy it. And I did promise you ladies a little shopping trip. Do you fancy a little shopping trip? Let's buy a Noriko wig together. It won't be in this video, but I am hoping that you will join me. And I was thinking, oh, should I go for Carrie by Noriko? There are a couple of others whose name escaped me now. I know that the summer is coming, and I was thinking, dare I buy a blonde? A blonde, of course, with a dark root, you know. We're not going to go hog wild. Not yet. I'm working up to it. Big kisses and hugs to everybody. Words fail me, really. Words fail me. And I will see you very soon in the next video.